If you're unhappy being alone, then being in a relationship isn't going to change that.
Hey, isn't this a watch channel?
Right. You see, the key to happiness is buying another Seiko. I've done it. I've given you the key. So today I've got one of those keys and we're gonna check it out right now. Introducing the all-new Seiko Coastal Diver, a bold new line that promises to break away from tradition and answer the fans' call for something different. For years, you guys have been saying Seiko's designs all look the same. But this time, Seiko has responded with something fresh and original. Or did they? Similar wave dial, similar handset, and similar polygonal bezel. This watch has a divisive love it or hate it appeal. I think half of you will be smitten, while the other half might be left scratching your heads. I find myself in the latter group. To me, it doesn't really feel like a Seiko. And here's the thing, if you covered up the Seiko emblem and showed me a photo, I probably would struggle to guess it was a Seiko. I think it lacks some unmistakable Seiko DNA, and later in the video, I'll share a Photoshop mock-up of how I think Seiko could have nailed the design with one simple change. So stay tuned for that. Alright, moving on. The case quality though is classic Seiko, which means it's exceptionally well finished and it punches above its price point. The sides have perfect satin smooth brushing while the top of the lugs are high polished. And those lugs are absolutely stunning. They look like a sexy sports car's fender, and although they are round, they do taper sharply to a blunt tip. It's definitely a modern, bold, yet refined look. And these lugs are very wide, but Seiko has cleverly added a thin line of brushing right along the inner edge of that lug to visually slim them down. Now let's move upwards to the bezel. It has 8 sides, but the octagonal sides are rounded. It's definitely unique and differentiates itself from the tag. The insert is steel and has a copper color. I'm not sure if it's a PVD coating. It probably is, but Seiko did not mention anything. But how does this all-new bezel feel and sound? Right off the bat, the grip isn't the greatest. It has wide, smooth grips, but when your finger does hit one of the edges where it's more sharper, you do get more purchase, but it's still not the grippiest. But overall, it does feel like the typical soft Seiko dampened clicks, which I'm a fan of. Now let's do those dimensions. I got 41.5 millimeters in diameter, bezel 40.5, and a secret measurement of 30.2. I got a thickness of only 12.5, and we got drilled lugs for easy strap changes and a lug to lug of 48.1. Pretty good size. I think it's a bit too large for my 6.7 inch wrist, but you guys be the judge on the faraway shots and let me know how it wears. The bracelet is 20 millimeters and it does taper down to 18. The bracelet is solid throughout, and I love the polished mid-links. However, it is a pin and collar system with only 2 micro adjustments. And yes, the much hated pressed dive extension is still here. Seiko, you gotta update this clasp, please. So I'm in the camp that believes a Seiko diver belongs on a rubber strap. And thankfully, this video is brought to you by Joseph Bonney. So we get to see their high quality tropics on this Seiko diver. They are vulcanized rubber, and unlike most tropics, the pattern continues all the way to the edge of the straps. They are based in Paris, and they specialize in French handcrafted leather goods. Quick side note, my favorite strap is their 1969. That's the name. It's gorgeous. I'm wearing it right now on my Vulcane skin diver. Woo! Now back to the review. These coastal divers feature, according to Seiko, a dial inspired by the seaside. This particular model has a matte black dial with a textured pressed pattern. It does add depth, but guys, I'm kind of getting sick of textured dials. I miss sun rays, but I digress. The bullet-shaped indices are also pressed, and there are double bullets at the 12 o'clock position. The indices are high polished, but what really stands out here is Seiko's decision to use copper colored hands. So different from the indices, and it's the perfect choice because it matches the bezel and it really makes the hands pop out. So legibility is pretty good. The chapter ring, Seiko Prospex logo, and the text automatic 3 days are all printed in crisp white printing. Now let's talk about the loom. Seiko's signature Lumabrite is known for its power, but here, the application on the hour markers is a bit underwhelming. It has a paper-thin application on the slim bullet markers, which is why it's not impressive for me. However, the handset is more in line with the typical Seiko strength that I'm used to. As for the crown, it's a healthy 6.5 millimeters. And it's got my favorite grip style, the coarse knurling. It is, of course, screw down, and it does contribute to the coastal diver's 300 meters of water resistance. Very impressive. Now, when we flip the watch over, we get the usual Seiko case back with the Seiko Tsunami logo, but this time the case back is completely flat, so very nice. This is Seiko's brand new 6R55. It's an updated 6R35. All they did was increase the power reserve a little bit, and they made it a little bit thinner. It is still rated at plus 25, minus 15 seconds per day, and it is a medium beat 21.6 VPH. Accuracy and consistency isn't this movement's strong point, and I'll be honest, I sold all my 6R Seikos, even though I love them. If you want to enjoy the 6R Seikos, which there are a ton of great watches, then don't own a time grapher like me. Links will be down in the description to buy a time grapher like mine. I hope one day Seiko starts incorporating its high-grade L line of movements, the 6L, into their more affordable divers. Now, speaking of affordable, what is that price? Well, this one comes in at $1,100 USD. So yes, that's $200 savings over the brand new 63 MAS I reviewed a couple months back. So not bad, but a little high in my opinion. After spending some time with the watch, I think it would have captured more classic Seiko spirit with just one simple change. If Seiko just moved the crown to the 4 o'clock position, I think I would have liked it more. But I would love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. It's always interesting when Seiko drops a brand new diver. And guys, make sure to check out Kavar Jewelers. They were kind enough to lend this to us. They have a brand new section. It's huge and they've got all the Seikos for you to check out. Links down below to their website if you want to purchase this watch. By the way, the Photoshop took me over 10 minutes to make, so make sure to subscribe in appreciation, and I'll see you in the next one.